So in this video, we're going to have a look at reading Venn diagrams and how those Venn diagrams correlate with our two-way tables. So we've got our Venn diagram on the left here. One thing to remember is when we write down something like, let's change the color here. If we write n bracket a, that means the number of sets that fall into A. So we've got 4 values here that fall into the A category. If we had something like the number of sets that fall into A, and then we have this little arch here, that means the intersection. So it means and. So we have the number of sets that fall into A and B. So that's the one that falls, the number of sets that fall into both categories. So that would be our 1 value here. So let's have a look at the other ones and the way we write those. So let's start with our A values here. It's just the number of sets of A, but not B. So write that there as n of A. So we know that that's number of sets of A. And so we do our intersection here, which just essentially means and. And we write our B, but there's one difference with our B is we put a little apostrophe up here. And that apostrophe there means not. So that's A and not B. So our value here, that's of A and not B, is our 3. So it falls into the circle of A, but doesn't fall into the circle of B. So that circle cuts off here, so it's just A, which is this one here. So we'll have a look at B and not A. We'll write that the same way. Let's write that down in the corner here where we've got a bit of space. N of, we'll start with A, and then the apostrophe there. So not A and B. So it falls into the category of B and not A. It's this one here. Because if we did the category of just B, it'd include this one, so it has to be not A as well. Then the final one is our 2 value here, the ones that doesn't fall into either category. We'd write that as N, and we'll do our not A, and not B. That'll be our 2 value. So that's how we'd write that, because it's not A. It doesn't fall into the A category. It doesn't fall into the B category either. So it's N, the number of sets of not A and not B. So all of these values will link into this two-way table here. So if we have a look, so we've got our A and our B, one that falls into both, is 1. So that value goes straight into here. The other way to write it, not A and B, is 4. So our total value of numbers of B should be 5. So we've got 1, we've got 4, so that's 5, so that's right. And then we've got not B. So we've got not B, but includes A. We've got 3 here and 3 here. Not A and not B is our one down here. We've got 2. And on the side here, so that's our B values. So they're all our B values here are 5. All the not B values are 5. So we've got a 3 here and a 2 of not A and not B. And the same happens with the A's. 1 and 3, we've got 1 and 3 A values, so that's 4. And then we've got 4 and 2 not A values, which is 6. And if we count them all up, we should have 10 values.